Hello and welcome back to Oh God, Please, Not Another Podcast. I am Josh Dell.
Brailey Linderman.
And we're just kind of enjoying America while we can still have it. You know, tomorrow's 4th of July, which is exciting. Not sure if we'll have another one. Hopefully. I'm trying to be optimistic. I'm remembering the Benjamin Franklin quote. Somebody asked him, do we have a republic or a monarchy? And he said, a republic if you can keep it. And here we are today.
Starting off strong.
I think that was in 1774. And
oh, my God.
So now, fast forward a few hundred years later, and we have two of the oldest people I've ever seen with just the craziest things to say.
It just looks like two of like our grandparents just fighting over Thanksgiving dinner.
And like, I feel like people with dementia, I know people with dementia, and I'm just like, it's at work.
Josh messaged me. He goes, "This is bad. This is bad."
It's bad. I think we all would rather elect a baked potato at this point than whatever.
My pinky finger could do the job.
Yeah.
It's bad. What's funny is I was thinking about this the other day. How are we as like Americans, like all of us collectively, not angry that these are our two candidates?
I think there is a good amount of anger. I think there is, but there's some people that are just like so heavy into like Trump or even Biden, but it's just like, is this really the best thing for the country? I don't know. I mean, I don't. Yeah, it's not.
Honestly, my thought process is vote for Biden. He'll die within the first 3 months. Then we'll get somebody new.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know anything about the vice president, so I have no idea what that would be like. But other than mass incarcerations for marijuana, and I don't agree with that because
don't agree with that either. I just had this conversation with somebody.
Let the green live, man. There's no reason to be locking people away.
I think it's crazy that there are people locked away for almost life because of marijuana, but then people who rape and kill people get out on parole.
It's insane. And that's just because of stupid like classifications of drugs that we did in the 80s. And like
which this story just came in because the Olympics are, in July. This is about to get hot and heavy. Sorry, guys. The Olympics are in July 26th. Go watch them. I'm so excited. I don't remember which country it is, but there is an Olympian who was granted to be able to compete in the Olympics after he was in jail for 5 years for sexually assaulting a woman. And it was a very heavy sexual assault.
U.S.?
It wasn't U.S. Oh. But Olympic as a whole has the contract, which is why last Olympics, that one girl was kicked off for smoking weed. Where it was legal in her state.
Right.
But since she was on Olympic team, you're not allowed to have any drugs in your system. And it sucked. She's going back. She's just got qualified to go back. So, but this man is allowed to compete. And there's a moral clause in the Olympics contract.
In his state, is it legal to
No,
no,
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think it's like that guy also on TikTok. Have you seen he's a super right wing guy. He was kicked off of Trump's staff for like being really actually so bad. He couldn't even be on Trump's staff.
Trump's like, that's a little too far for me.
Yeah. And he got kicked off. So he makes these TikToks like making fun of liberals. And he goes, if gun-free zones work, why don't we have rape-free zones?
Oh, yeah. I think I've seen that guy. He's always like stirring a tea or something, acting like he's like making a good, like, you're like, oh my God, dude, you're a genius.
Yes.
Like,
well, this girl stitched it and she goes, every zone should be a rape-free zone. Hope this helps.
Yeah.
But yeah, this, guys, I think as America, we are in trouble. And I think we're headed for either the Hunger Games.
Really?
I just watched it.
Have you ever heard about Project 2025?
I can't even talk about it. It makes me angry. We can't talk about it, but it makes me angry.
It seems like...
Oh my God, my
fat
thighs are stuck to the chin.
Yeah, I heard that.
Did you hear all the skin ripped off? It
sounded like Velcro to that. I think it's cool because I think in a matter of months we can start burning witches again, which I've always been very pro witch burning. I don't know about you. I feel like you probably feel a little different about it. But
a little bit.
yeah. But I just can't wait to just be out in the street and be like, witchcraft.
Yeah.
Just point at somebody. And
do you think if or when Trump gets elected that Project 2025 would actually happen?
I don't know. I don't know, like, how, I mean, probably a version of it. The thing is with, like, the whole debate and, like, I don't really, like, I'm never like, oh, I love to talk about politics, but I do think the whole thing about it that looks so bad was, like, Biden's clearly just so old, and, like, can't string together sentences, so it made, like, Trump look very competent. That's what I texted you. Yeah, which I was like.
What was scary.
I was like, oh, my gosh, like. But, and, a lot of those debates are always the same thing. They just have their talking points where they just keep bringing it up again.
Yeah. I think there's a girl that I follow. She's super non-biased. She doesn't give two shits. She's like, I'm just going to live my life, and if I die, I die. But she does these, like, really unbiased, at least I think she does. I don't know for sure. Unbiased, like, research on both candidates. And she watched the debate. And she said, all right, guys, let's talk about it. She was like, in total, Trump said 29 lies. Biden said 9. Now let's go through them. Yeah. And she was like, the reason why I think only Biden got out 9 was because he couldn't actually form a sentence.
Right.
She was like, whereas, and she went through all of them, like a lot of like both lies, the facts behind them. And she said, she goes, what frustrates me the most is that neither candidate was able to answer any question.
Yeah.
One wasn't coherent. Like Biden wasn't coherent. And then Trump just kept being like, Biden is the worst president ever.
And just immigration. There's
immigration,
just too many,
abortion. I abolished abortion. And you're just kind of like, oh, this is what it's embarrassing because then somebody also was showing clips from the 2012 election between Obama and
Mitt Romney.
Yes. And it was just so, like, cordial.
Yeah, well, yeah. There used to be a decorum, and now we've just said to hell with that, and let's just kind of, the gloves are off. But you know what? That's sadly where I think we are just as a country is more than anything, we just want to be entertained.
Yeah.
And
I think
that's kind of just where the world is, I think, like, because they actually just had that in Italy a few years ago. There was some dude who was a ex-comedian but like running for like a fascist party in Italy, and it's just like, and he was winning. I think he might have won actually. I don't know. It's, I don't know. I think at the end of the day people are just like, it's almost like it's kind of relatable because there's just people in your life that like kind of entertain you, but like then to be like, oh my gosh, you could say, like, to turn everything into like a WWE match, like as like,
and it is entertaining,
like,
and it's been
he's
fun.
The worst president. I was just, dude, I was waiting for him to do like a Stone Cold Stunner on Biden, just like cross the barrier. He was on WWE before, which was
he was
very
also on Home Alone
and The Apprentice. Maybe not forget.
It's really funny though because it's like this is where we got to, and I believe that truly, I wholeheartedly believe this, and I'll say it with my chest, that we got to this point because of social media and people being so easily able to share their opinions, and it's like not even factual opinions; it's just opinions. They're what do you call it? Emotionally based. And so people just hop on that train and they just ride that train like which other.
Well, yeah, there's something about, people resonating with other people's opinions.
Yeah.
And like that's, I mean, in some parts, you're grateful for people being able to like have information, be able to share information. But like, like just as much as you're able to share information, you're able to share misinformation.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's good for everybody. Just do your research and like, be conscious about how you Google questions because with Google, they've done this. There's a thing called confirmation bias. Obviously, I think a lot of people are aware of that, like where you basically look up something or like in the way that you want it to be answered. Mm-hmm. So you have to like be careful, like, because they've done this thing with Google where they'll like look up like, is chocolate ice cream the worst ice cream? And it will like, the search results will be like, yeah, chocolate ice cream is the worst. Here's why, like, or whatever. And then they'll Google, is chocolate ice cream the best ice cream, and then they'll Google results will be like, here's why chocolate ice cream is the best ice cream. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So it's just like you have to be conscious of how you do any kind of research.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I will say about like I don't feel that I use like my college degree that much, but I'm really grateful for the mindset of college and how it taught me to research things. That's like something I've been.
Yeah, because everything you had to have a viable like
source. Yeah,
and
right.
that is true. Somebody who is really good about that, and I'll shout him out, is my brother. My brother is he was a political science major.
Yeah.
And now he's an author. He's in the middle of actually writing a book, and we'll talk about that whenever it comes out.
Not a lot of nodding in that book though.
Not a lot of nodding. I think we talked about this. You're like, would you read it? And I'm like, yeah, of course I'd read it. He wrote it. He spent years on it. Okay.
Another
anyways.
Linderman.
But my brother is really good at having like non-biased opinions.
Yeah.
And just having factual like thoughts.
I love that.
Yeah. And so but the best is like Thanksgiving or Christmas whenever we're all together, and my dad is my sweet dad has been like, well, all the millions of immigrants. And my brother's like, Dad, if there was like 3 million immigrants, they would have no idea. Like they'd actually have no idea who comes in and goes out. Like there's no way
there's nobody
to
standing like with an amusement park counter where they're like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. And, it doesn't go up to 1 million.
I know. And he goes,
you get 999.
My brother's really good about diffusing, people from being able to have these extreme opinions of something and being like, let's think logically and see where this goes, and in the end, I think both parties truly do want America to be like a good country. And I think that everybody has an opinion of how they want it to look. But in reality of it all, if you want the country to be exactly how it was made, how it was like intended to be, then you have to allow freedom of speech and religion and all of everything. Like if you want a free country, make it free. Just don't kill people.
See, I think both parties are really out for themselves and just want to get rich off the backs of hardworking Americans.
Yeah.
And
obviously
there's a 2-tier system, and there's the elites, and then there's the rest of us, and we are not part of that. And they are working in this cyclical system where they just transfer money around to one another and play the stock market. That's why I love that there's things like that website now that lets you copy the stock trades of all the politicians, because there are lobbyists that are lobbying to those politicians. Then those politicians will buy stock in those companies and get super rich. Like both Democrats and Republicans are super guilty of this. I can't remember the Republican guy's name, but the other Democrat one is Nancy Pelosi, who's somebody who's like made so much money off the stock market and stuff. And like I think her husband's a developer and stuff too, and like has a lot of money. But also like one of those things where it's like, all these people are like in these special interest groups are like coming in and being like, yeah, have you used your, this amount of tax dollars to support this bill or whatever, like, and in exchange. And dude, they threw Martha Stewart in jail for that shit. I'm like, are you kidding me, dude?
Wait, I thought Martha Stewart stole from a store.
No, she was imprisoned for stock, some kind of stock thing, like insider trading. That's why she was in prison. And like so many people are guilty of that, and like she actually did serve time for it. Which is crazy. Like
I think it's just, I don't know. It is to me being older sucks. This is the part of like being an adult that sucks, is you're so hyper aware of everything now. Like when we were younger, Bill Clinton was president, I remember watching TV the day that he was like, I didn't have sexual relations, and I was like, what does that mean? But I remember, it's funny when you're a kid, you don't realize all of this, and now it's and that's what sucks. It's everywhere.
Remember that was like the biggest scandal though. That was huge.
Huge.
That was like
huge.
Now I just don't think people would really bat an eye over that.
I mean, obviously not. Look at what we got right now.
It's interesting how far we've come. And that's another thing about like social media and stuff. I don't know if I feel like we sound like two old people like since we've been on here.
I think it's realistic is what it is.
We sound very old, but and a lot of like the social media stuff like I think does contribute to that, because I think now we are putting like being entertained above everything, and And
it's all accessible so easily.
right. Yeah. And I've like read stuff about us being like turning into like more of a, instead of a like democracy, more of like a like populist country where we're going to elect like leaders that are like people want Dwayne the Rock Johnson to be president. You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
See, like what kind of, I don't know. At least like people used to like study political science and stuff when they wanted to be president. You know, like they would knew stuff about history of the country and like, and you know, foreign relations and things like that. Like I feel like now we're just like, who is the coolest dude we know who has his own tequila brand?
I remember that being people's arguments back in 2016 was, you know, I'm voting for Trump because he's not a politician. And then they keep saying that as if he was never president. And I was like, the moment he was sworn into office, he became a politician.
Yeah.
Like he knows how to lie and manipulate. Like overall, like the government's never going to have our best interest at heart. So just be kind to people. Like just be kind. Just be nice. Yeah. Let people do what they want to do.
Yeah.
I mean, morally, and just let people live.
Morally. I
mean, I don't want people to be like, yeah, let's go let people kill people, you know?
No, I'm all for the purge. I think we should
listen.
One night a year. Maybe it's, you know, maybe it's biannual. Maybe it's every 2 years.
Let's do it every 4 years. Every presidential
election. Or is biannual
election.
Twice a year?
Biannual's.
Or is it every other year?
Every other year. I think it's
okay.
Bi.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm bi for the purge.
I'm going to clip just that.
For the purge. I'm bi for the purge. Biannual. Let's do, you know, just a little light murder every couple years.
What is a light murder?
It's just, you know, I would think.
Poisonous berries?
Yeah, like I would think things that are nothing torturous. It's just like very quick deaths. And I think, no, I never got the premise of that movie because I was like, there's no way you unlock that jar and you're like, okay, I got to stop for a year now. And then I think once Pandora's box is open with murder, you're just like, I got to murder all the time.
I don't even know if the purge was real.
Yeah.
I personally, just knowing my mind, I would never be able to kill somebody. But I'd be terrified that I piss somebody off. I've never been in a situation where I'm like, I need to kill that person. You know what makes sense? Like nobody's ever harmed me or harmed my family, you know.
Right.
Punch somebody, yeah. But into life, that's hard. That's,
it is hard.
That's psycho.
Yeah, I don't really think I could either. I don't know. I would definitely, if somebody like came up and was like, if I was ready to do it, and then they're like, my name's Steve, and I'd be like, can't do it now.
My name's Steve. I have a dog named Henry.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do, I guess, if you're like ever like in your like.
I learned that on Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, you're supposed to like identify yourself like personally, like, dude, my name's Josh. Like, I have a dog named Bogart. You know, like,
my wife's name is Courtney. I live in Ashland City. It's really nice. That's the thing is like everybody has some type of family or somebody that they love that's close to. I mean, I'm not everybody, I'm sure, but I could just never imagine it. I just read a book where the girl had to kill somebody for the first time because it was either her or them situation. And so she was protecting herself. And I even think about that like in home invasions.
Yeah.
Like,
did you ever see Sophie's Choice? Meryl Streep. She has to kill one of her kids. No.
That's
what Sophie's Choice
I thought
is.
Sophie's Choice was when a girl was born just to give her sister organs. And finally she was like, I'm not giving any more organs or blood and stuff. No, that was somebody's keeper. Something keeper.
My brother's keeper?
My sister's keeper. That's it. Okay. Yeah, I've never seen Sophie's Choice then.
Yeah. Yeah, you made me question if I've seen it. And then I was like, I don't remember anything about organs, but
no, she had to kill one of her kids.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah, there's something about that. I don't know. Well,
I also saw a video. This could make you sick to your stomach. Are you ready?
Sure.
Okay. Back in like 2019 or I think it was 2019 or early 2020, this guy was on his Walmart app and he bought all his groceries off the app. Have you seen this?
No.
He bought all of his groceries off of the app and then went and picked them up. And the total was $143 for like 2 weeks worth of groceries.
Wow.
And so he was interested like the last week, and he goes on his app and he could see like previous orders.
Yeah.
And the order that he did that was $143, you could reorder.
Oh, yeah.
He pressed reorder it for today. It was $414.
Oh, my gosh. That's insane. He must have got a lot of sale items the first time.
Yeah, that's definitely it.
Yeah.
That's definitely
What do you think it tripled in price over
4 or 5 years? Yeah.
Oh, 4 or 5 years. Yeah.
Yeah, 4 or 5 years like that.
I
That's
thought
how
it was like
expensive
4
life
weeks.
is. No,
Yeah.
that's how expensive life is right now.
Wow.
It's crazy.
I don't think it's that expensive at all. I think I love it. I mean, I guess it's a couple more dollars when I'm filling up my yacht and stuff like that, but I'm not really phased at all by it.
I wish you had a yacht.
I
wish you had
do.
a
I
boat.
just don't invite you.
Oh.
You know, kind of like how you don't invite me to things and you're very mean about it.
I'm not mean about it. I'm going to the lake for the 4th of July.
I asked if I could sleep between you and Tom on the boat.
No. You in the bed.
In the
and
bed.
I
In
said
the bed.
No.
I didn't. I thought it was a houseboat.
Nope.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
Houseboats.
What's wrong with houseboats?
Nothing. I was on one time and it was really cool. We went to a boat show. Those things are unreal.
A boat show, like that's in like a big,
like if it was in a convention
like a
center.
convention center.
Yeah.
Oh, so you weren't even in the water. You were just on a houseboat.
No, I've never been in a houseboat on the water. I'm not rich.
Yeah.
No, but some of those houseboats are unfreaking real. I can't believe people own them. Even yachts in general. How do people afford yachts? What do you do? What do you do? Do you steal?
Some people bought Bitcoin really early. That's seriously, some people are flying like the Bitcoin flags on their yachts because they like bought Bitcoin when it was like 60 cents. And so they have like a bunch of Bitcoin and they were like,
here's a good question.
Yeah.
If you could go back in time, what is the one thing you would invest in? Like the one that you know would obviously make, like the one thing you'd put all your money into today.
well, are you talking about in my lifetime?
Yeah.
Bitcoin
you would
would
do
be
Bitcoin?
it. Yeah, because it's like I don't know what it's at right now, but it's probably still like 18,000. But like when I bought Bitcoin when it was pretty
Still don't
early
know what
on.
Bitcoin
Like
is.
it's just like I don't think it's decentralized anymore, but it's like it's a currency. You know what I mean? Like anything. But yeah, I bought it pretty early on when I was like in college when like Bitcoin was like $6. And I remember when it went up to like $30 or whatever, like I cashed in. I was like, I'm going to buy a pizza. Like I'm going to buy some
Dream
Domino's.
big.
Yeah. Dude, if I would have held on to that, I would have had like $6 million.
Josh, that's so disappointing. Oh my God.
Yeah. It's cool though, man. Like
I could have had a rich friend.
I didn't want $6 million.
Oh.
I wanted
wanted
to learn how to be a good person instead. I traded in all that cash value for just like living amongst the people and doing normal people stuff, even though
I hate it.
yeah.
I hate you at this point.
I know.
I think I would put all my money into like Apple.
Yeah, but Apple was already kind of like was kind of already doing good. Like if you were, I mean, I guess it kind of fell off there in the 90s for a little bit, but yeah, so I guess you could have bought it when you were like a baby.
Or I would have created Amazon.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah, I guess going back in time and killing
When
Jeff
was
Bezos.
Amazon created?
I don't know. Like I think it was in the .com era, so early 2000s, and then they were selling books. You know, it was a book sales thing, and then they pivoted into selling everything, and now we're here. He has a huge yacht, Jeff Bezos.
I believe it.
It's great. He actually has his yacht. You can drive another full size like mini yacht into, and then it carries that yacht around. And then actually that yacht, you can drive a smaller yacht into that one. It's like a Russian nesting doll situation of yachts. No, it's only one yacht inside the other yacht.
You want to see my yacht?
It's
You
not
wanna see
that
my other yacht?
impressive.
You want to see my other? You want to see my boat? You want to see
Yeah.
my other boat?
Yeah, you want to see my ski-doo?
You wanna
Or
see
sea-doo?
ski-doo?
Yeah.
That isn't.
Yeah.
Too be. I can't.
It has
even
a helicopter
fathom.
pad on it too, which is cool.
What?
Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, look up Bezos's yacht. It's pretty cool. I think anybody who works really hard could definitely get that size of a yacht. And I'm saying that you can't see me if you're listening to this, but I'm being very facetious.
First of
I
all,
don't think it's.
I looked it up in one of these photos.
Yeah, dude. I think when he's cosplaying a pirate, he drives that thing around.
That is If y'all have not looked up his yacht, that's unreal.
It's cool. I know. Look at he can light the whole ocean floor with that thing. Yeah, a lot of. Actually, Amazon's one of the biggest sellers of sex toys, so that's a lot of sex toy money. That's
because all those sex books we're reading.
Yeah, exactly. And I keep the batteries keep wearing out of my Rose toy. I gotta keep. I bought 4 Rose toys this year.
I remember my friends and we used to have like sex toy parties in college. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, there was a company that did
it was oh gosh, it's gonna bother me.
Did it start with an L, or did it start with a P? I don't know.
I'll figure it out. But we loved going to them. Yeah, we used to get so wine drunk.
Yeah, it's like Pampered Chef, but
Yes,
but
sex toy, and let me see. Sex toy party. Let's see here. Pillow talk. Sex toy. Love. Pure romance.
Pure romance. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. See, it did start with a P.
Yeah. Penis toys.
Yeah. That's it.
We used to do it all the time, and then even for 2 of my friends who got married, we did it on their bachelorette trip. Because it's not just like sex toys. They sell that's called. What's it called? Coochie cream.
Oh.
It's to help shave your bikini line.
I use that a lot.
That's weird.
Why is that weird?
Do you shave your bikini line?
You're being very sexist right now.
I am.
And I keep it very tight.
But do you wear like a thong? Like swimming?
Exclusively.
Oh, that's...
I'm wearing one right now.
I am so impressed by you.
Yeah. Yeah, you're impressed. Exactly. So the coochie cream, you were talking about you put in your coffee in the morning?
Yeah. So it's they used to also sell this roll-on. It was called pheromone something. It brings out your natural pheromones.
Bullshit.
And it was actually kind of cool because each person would put it on and we all had a different
you were telling us about all the creams and stuff that you have to use for your downstairs.
This one isn't for downstairs. This is just like a perfume almost. You roll it on your skin, and you wait like 10 minutes, and everybody else nobody smells the same. It's really, and most perfumes actually, if you were to spray perfumes on you, they don't smell the same on everybody.
I know. This is.
Oh, so you got the pheromone roll on too?
Yeah, I totally use that. No, I just figured I'm big into scents, so I just figure out I have an array of scents from very woody, to more like aqua, and summery types things, and maybe more floral. But I figured out my scents that work for my skin. My beautiful Italian olive skin. If you're just listening to this, I'm 6'5". I have an 8-pack. I have those little. Kind of all roads lead to Rome, but Rome being my penis thing.
This is crazy, guys. You should look up on Instagram. It's totally true.
It is. It's I speak 5 languages, and I actually have traveled the world to save sick kids with cancer. Mm-hmm. And that was just last summer. But I do a lot. I'm pretty close to solving the hunger crisis in Africa.
And I look like Margot Robbie.
I love Margot Robbie.
Don't
insult her.
I don't.
Like
I think she's beautiful. I would love to look like her.
Yeah, I'd love if you look like her too. I wonder if she wants to be on this show.
Josh, last time after we were done doing the podcast, he was like, "You just kind of look like somebody who would like girls." And I said, fair.
I just think you do as good in a room with a bunch of guys and with a bunch of girls. I think you would split your time 50-50. That's what I would think,
That's fair. I do. You remember how at the beginning of the year I wanted to tap into my feminine energy?
Yeah.
I haven't hit it yet.
Dude.
I was in a little bit of a crisis with the way I looked for a while, so I didn't dress in anything but Adam Sandler inspired clothing. But no, I just bought a cute dress. I showed Josh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get my makeup
nice
done
dress.
and my hair done.
Wow, look at that.
Maybe get my nails done.
And this is have you ever done these things before? Like done your hair and your makeup? Like
Yeah.
Oh, you have?
I love getting my hair and makeup done. It's one of my favorite things.
Oh.
I just don't get my
I
nails
didn't think
done.
you wore makeup. I say that all the time. I just like
Because I'm so naturally beautiful that it's crazy.
That's it. Yeah. You have dark lashes for just being all natural.
I know.
Yeah.
God, I guess God has his favorites.
Yeah.
He couldn't
that's
make me
so true.
skinny, so he gave me dark eyelashes and long, luscious lashes.
And that's why he made me 6'8" and able to ride and train stallions.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, all those
you know
things are
what?
true.
Sent in all the books that I read.
I'm actually really 6 foot, and I'm not self-conscious about it, so don't tease me about it. If you
6
see
foot
me
is
in
tall.
public, don't say anything about my height.
But if he's saying he's 6 foot, he's actually like 5'11".
Except, nope. I'm actually 6'1". I actually undersell it. That's who
my
I'm just
favorite
kidding.
trend.
Guys are so weird about their height. That's why I was just
weird.
I'm being facetious, and I don't care. Dude, honestly, maybe I shrank. Maybe I am 5'11" now. I don't know. I don't
shrink
care.
as you get older, but
I don't really care. I'm not trying to impress any of you. No.
It sounds like you might be trying to impress some of us.
Yeah.
Have you seen that trend where a guy is on the street and be like, "How tall are you?" And a guy will say something. He's like, "Can we measure?"
I love that.
And like, okay,
there are weird things that like guys are like very self-conscious about, and I don't. But I think it's also because like you get sold this like like what is the like 666 rule or whatever the thing, like you have to be over, like girls want somebody who's over 6 foot tall, makes over 6 figures and has over a 6-inch dong.
I've never heard that, but I think it's because that is just a society standard.
Yeah, I'm kind of like, I like the 999 rule, and that's kind of where I've lived my life majority of
9 inches below 6 feet.
I'm 9 feet tall. I make $1 trillion a year. And I got that bat on me, boy.
I can't even. No, I think that guys are really sensitive about that. But again, you could do great things as a small guy. You could enter the Olympics
you
as
could
a gymnast.
Enter the eye of a needle. Like, as long as you don't have your riches with you. Or your camel,
You could enter the eye of a needle.
There is the eye of a needle was actually like a little door that like most cities like in like, I don't know, Mesopotamic era or whatever had in their city.
I'm picturing the eye of a needle.
I know. But it is because like that was like that's like a colloquialism or whatever. Like, but it was like the eye of a needle, because that's how most people interpret that. Like, it's easier for a rich man or like it's easier for a camel to fit through the eye of a needle than a rich man to enter heaven, or whatever the Bible verse is. But there was cities actually did have like an escape route that was called, I think, like an eye of a needle. That like
you gotta cut that, and you gotta put that as a clip. Oh my gosh, that is so funny. But yeah, so all you short kings out there,
you little Thumbelinas, don't you worry. There's somebody for everybody.
Oh my God.
love seeing. I really personally love this because a lot of times you'll see short women with tall guys.
Yeah.
But I love seeing a short man with a very tall woman. I'm a big fan of that.
I follow somebody on TikTok that has
Really?
that, like he's easily maybe 5'3",
Yeah.
5'4", and she's easily 5'11".
In my life, I've never really met. Well, no, I met people who are like taller than me, but like I could imagine like having like a woman that could hold me like a baby, or like just toss me around on the jungle gym or whatever.
I do this thing which is
I go uppies.
uppies. We do that. Me and my friend Ashley do that all the time. If we see somebody that's cute, we'll be like uppies. Sometimes I'll make Tom carry me to bed, And I'll
Really?
stand on the couch and like jump on him.
Yeah.
And every time I'm like obviously taller than him. Like, what if I was this tall?
Yeah.
And I always think to myself, would I love Tom just the same if I had to bend down to
I don't know. You're pretty
with
shallow.
him?
I don't think you would.
To be fair, I will 100% say that I would not do well with a shorter guy. I just don't.
Yeah. It's okay. Courtney says the same thing.
Yeah.
One time I told her, I said I had my friend we were at like a lunch it was at a wedding actually. But I was like, I don't know why I said this. I was like, Courtney, if I ever die, I want you to marry Carlos. And she's like, I just don't think I could do it. Like,
'Cause he's short?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
he's like, and I was like, why not? And she's like, this is no offense, like to Carlos or oh, wait, I said his name. Oh, whatever. But but like I just couldn't be with anybody who's shorter than me. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, that's interesting. Like,
Well, you have
I never really like.
preferences.
Yeah, I know. It's like weird though. Like I don't know. You do have things that are, but you also have things that like have just been ingrained in you, like since you were like a kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That are
All
like
storybooks,
right? And
everything.
it's just like that's just not reality though. Like
Like, would you ever date a woman taller than you?
I think I would. Like
Yeah.
I think I'm like in a different place in my life now where I just like I don't. It's not necessarily like I don't have preferences or whatever, but it's just like I think I really now believe like life is so much about just like having experiences and trying different things and like it unlocks different things in you and like I think people get different things from different people. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So I think that's why it's important to like have friends and stuff like that too. But like I think like I think it would be I'm not like so insecure that I wouldn't do that. Like no, I don't care.
I mean, you see a lot of, especially like in Hollywood, you see a lot of women who are like supermodels dating short
yeah, right.
men.
Like short little rock star dudes or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. It's funny too because where do these preferences come from? And it is like being ingrained into you.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, that's just like, I mean, we grew up with all those Disney like movies and
Yeah.
stuff where it's, it's always a prince and they're always like, there's always this weird like non-consent thing, at least
Yeah,
with Snow
yeah.
White and like,
oh yeah, he kissed her.
yeah. It's like, wait for her to fall asleep.
Yeah.
No, she was already asleep, right? I don't know. 7 guys just hang out around her all the time and kind of do whatever she wants. And then
Was that
this other tall guy comes
Yeah,
along.
Snow White
Yeah.
was the very first Disney princess. That was 1930 something.
Yeah.
So that, yeah, I mean,
There were a lot of men kissing women while they were asleep in the 1930s.
yeah, that's true.
I'll kiss her awake.
I'll kiss her awake.
I'll kiss her awake, you see?
I just
That's what they sounded like.
yes, sir.
You see?
Okay. I have
Yeah.
a question, and I hope this comes out correctly. I always watch the old the channel on TV that has all the old films that play.
TMC?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
TCM or what? Yeah.
Why
Or
is
the movie
it?
channel,
Why are
TMC.
accents so different back then? Like,
Shane
It
Gillis
almost
does
sounds-
Shane Gillis does this bit about where he's like the white guys used to be so cool and they'd walk around and be like, oh, you gotta give them that, or whatever. And he's like, in that all like he's like, you can physically hear that voice drop out of all of America the first time a black person like got to play baseball or whatever.
Yeah.
They're like, and next up to the plate is this Jackie Robinson, and then everybody just started talking like this after. They're like,
Yeah.
they lost all their cool points.
it's just it's just so crazy because it's like when you watch these films, like that's how people or weird like old American accents. If
You
that
want
makes
the
sense.
moon, Mary? Well, I'll tie a
Yeah.
lasso around it and bring it down to you.
Did they actually talk like that?
That's a Wonderful Life.
or did they actually talk
It's a
like that?
Wonderful Life.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
I know. Did they actually talk like that, or is that just like for a movie?
I don't know, Brailey.
Like, did he come home and be like, "Hello, honey,
yeah.
I'm home"?
He said, I hope dinner's ready or I'm going to beat the shit out of you.
What? It's crazy. Like 1950 to now is wild.
Yeah, it is wild. And it's crazy because now they're doing, what was it? There's something about like, was it 1950 to like the 90s was the same as like now like 1980 to today or something. Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy the time frame. Of
That makes me sick to my stomach.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh yeah, that's why because they did like that 70s show and then they did that 90s show. Because,
yeah, they
like,
just
now
came out the
it's
second
like,
season too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That I can't, if I think about time too much, it creeps me out. It freaks me out.
Yeah. Time is creepy, man.
Was it me and you talking about that where you're like, well, when you're 15 or you're 10,
I was
like
talking
that's
about
only...
all your fucking preferences as a person of like what we can and can't talk about. Like you're a gremlin. You come with instructions. We just can't talk about time or space
or the ocean.
Yeah, basically existence like as a whole or anything that's...
Space scares me because it is infinite.
Yeah.
I mean, apparently there is like an ending to it. It's like a wall, but essentially, if there is a Big Bang Theory, technically there is a wall.
The wall is the tank that we live inside is some kid's bedroom, some alien kid. You know what I mean? Like we're just an experiment in time, probably.
It feels like it. We were also talking at work the other day about life on other planets. There has to be outside of the Earth. There's
when you think
no
about
way
billions
it's
of
only us.
galaxies, think about the...
And what does their world look like compared to ours?
Yeah.
You know,
well, there's a lot of theories about this, and this is might be boring to some people. I don't know, but a lot of people like picture it more like I think in quantum physics or whatever, it's more like a folded blanket. So we're kind of like it's almost as if we're interdimensional. It's almost like not so much like ever expanding. I think as we're all like living parallel things at one time.
You know what's in my brain right now?
What?
I'll keep going.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
no idea what you just
Yeah.
said.
Okay. Well, I don't know.
Okay.
There's some.
But isn't this weird too? For example, this is also so like time. If we were to go light years away and then have a giant microscope that looked down to the Earth, we would see dinosaurs instead of us because that's how non-caught up that light year is to now.
Yeah. Well, that's like I think even goes along with some of like the what I don't want to say because I'm going to be incorrect, but you know, like religions where you're kind of like reincarnated or like things go on forever, where it's like, yeah, kind of in a way.
Do you believe in reincarnation?
No, not necessarily. No, I don't really believe in I do think that like you are a place in space and time, and then like people can look back and you know.
So I get creeped out about reincarnation. I don't get creeped out about it. I think it's kind of cool, but there has to be, as this is coming, I am a Christian, I believe in all that, but there has to be, I'm just saying like,
all that.
This is coming, this is like a different perspective. There has to be something
I don't identify with any
where
religion.
we are able to like come back and do something, because some things that you've never been to before in your life feel familiar. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
that's like deja vu's even.
Yeah.
Like deja vu's are so weird to me.
They say that's kind of an evolutionary thing that your brain does for, I forget why. I don't know, but there was a reason for it.
There was one time when I was in my hometown of Roswell, Georgia. Not Roswell, New Mexico. Paul Newman had a house in Roswell, and it was on this beautiful street.
Yeah.
Huge, massive. Man, he did great movies, but his salad dressing is...
I was going to say, do you think his fountains at his house just like squirted out his dressing,
the
some
Italian
Newman's
dressing?
own?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. But there was one day where I was driving, but I had never gone all the way to the end of the street.
Yeah.
And I got to the end of the street, and I got to the cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
And I see this house, and I had to stop because I was like, I have been here before. I have seen this house before. I know I know exactly like what the layout is and all of that at this house. And it creeped me out, and I went home.
Do you think you used to date Paul Newman in another life?
Oh man, Paul Newman was so hot.
Yeah.
His eyes
probably still is.
He was my background on my phone back in college because I thought he was just I was watching an old movie and I was like, damn.
You're like, damn, Paul Newman.
Yeah, Paul Newman's fine. He probably was racist.
I don't know.
But anyways, yeah. But isn't that weird? Like that's weird.
That is weird. You know, maybe I don't know.
Or
I don't.
These 2-year-olds being like, I was in that plane. I was didn't know.
2-year-olds just say crazy things.
2-year-olds are scary.
2-year-olds are just constantly like drunk. You know what I mean? And they're just saying crazy things, and they're stumbling and falling into walls and stuff. And that's the 2-year-old life.
And just crying for no reason.
Yeah.
Kind
of like you.
Me.
Yeah.
I know.
That's exactly like you.
I came in today and I was like, if I talk about it, I'll start crying. And because I was talking about something, and I actually didn't end up crying talking about it, but I was just in a foul mood, I'm switching
Yeah.
medicines. I can't help it. It's whatever.
You are in a foul mood, aren't
I'm
you?
not in a foul mood right now. I feel better.
You do. I have that effect on people. I make people feel better, I think. Do you think that? No? All right.
Just kidding.
I've been in a place lately where I've been trying to think of, like, if I didn't do this with Brailey, who would I be doing this with?
Okay, let's hear it. Who? Hurt my feelings. Go ahead. Fine.
No, I was just thinking if I could clone myself and just have
Oh,
another
God.
copy. Think of how much we could split the editing. I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. I think, but overall, Josh and I talk about this. This is such an escape for us to just do this. And we've had some good
Yeah.
support behind it, which is really
This has
nice. So
been-
thanks, guys.
This is my heroin.
I wouldn't say it's my
Besides
heroin, but
when I
I
do heroin.
I would say it's a
don't do
sweet tea
heroin.
from
I've never
McDonald's.
done sweet tea from McDonald's.
Sweet tea from McDonald's is superior. It is.
Really?
That's how I gained the Fresh from 15.
Really?
Yes, I had I would have 2 jumbo sweet teas from McDonald's a day. And
That's
it's
so much sugar.
It's almost as if I had never had sweet tea in my life.
Yeah.
And I gained almost 20 pounds my freshman year because I didn't drink a lot.
Wow, dude,
I
became a
only
thick
drank
queen for
thick
fresh.
queen. thick.
Thick thighs save lives. That's what they say.
Yeah, sweet tea. Oh, so good.
You know what's crazy to me, really, and maybe it's because I grew up in the, California, but like sweet tea it wasn't a thing
I know.
ever.
I know.
And like when you get here and you try your first glass of sweet tea, you're like, I see why the South has a diabetes problem. Yep. Yeah, you're like, wow, this is a lot of sugar, like in this tea, man. Like,
yeah. I remember going.
Diabetes.
Yeah, when I went to California, my dad and I went on a trip to California. When I graduated high school.
Yeah.
And I would always have sweet tea. But my mom always made it, and my mom being the healthy queen, she would always put artificial sweeteners in it. You know?
Oh, good. Yeah, some sweet and low, sweet cherry.
And I would go get a sweet tea. And I'd be like, can I get a sweet tea? And every single place was like, no.
Yeah.
They were like, you could have tea and put your own sugar in it. And I'm like, okay, damn, I will.
Make your own sweet tea.
New York doesn't has it. Doesn't have it.
Does not have it.
Yeah. Sweet tea. But man, that McDonald's. Oh.
I don't know. I don't know nothing about that, man. I used to.
You
What?
want me to get you? I'm gonna bring one next time.
Don't. I'm not eating sugar, and I'm not eating bread, and I'm not eating. I'm down 40 pounds from the beginning of this year, so I'm just doing.
Which congratulations, that is a very big accomplishment.
I got my fajitas in the fridge right now. I've been eating a lot of like just meat and peppers and veggies and stuff. And
he's trying to be a swole king.
Yeah,
but I'm scared that
I'm
scared you're going to want to do this podcast with somebody else once you get all swole because you're going to want to talk about like meathead things.
I might want to talk more about meathead things. I might also do it with like just a bunch of babes, just me and.
Who is that guy?
15 babes.
Who is that guy that actually does that? What's his name?
Dan Bilzerian.
Yes, what a douche.
Sucks. Yeah.
Such a douche. It is like
it's come out now that he's like the biggest fraud. Like he's not rich. He's like borrowed a bunch of money.
Oh yeah.
His dad did some. I don't know. His dad was shady too, like a grifter. But like that's
Did he
where
get kicked out of the military.
I think so. Yeah, I think he got like dishonorably discharged. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that guy. Yeah, he would just have like these Instagram models or whatever, which is like good if they're getting paid, which I think some of them didn't, and I'm like that sucks. But like he would like have them like over his shoulders, like they'd be like in thongs or whatever, or whatever.
I bet
like,
a documentary will come out on Netflix soon, all about this man.
Which actually, since he's getting canceled, means there's room for somebody to replace them, and the trajectory of my health journey. I could probably live a Bilzerian style life in 15 months.
Okay.
Let's call it 15
Yeah.
months. I just need to like get my grift going, and then just get jacked. And then I need to figure out how to meet a network of like IG models.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
I just set all my intentions and my goals, and I think that'd be cool.
Well, this is where you're going to make all your money anyways. So we'll just save up whatever we get.
That's so true. This pays me more than anything.
You're getting paid?
Yeah. I control all the accounts, so I see the ins and outs of the business, and you're kind of like one of the like you're kind of like a Motown star right now, and I'm just the guy in charge.
What is that guy, Barry?
What? Oh, I was gonna say Clive Davis.
Oh, I was gonna say, I think there's another guy, Barry something, that did that to Motown artists.
I don't know. Yeah. Basically, that's I don't remember the name, but yeah, I'll collect the royalties and I'll distribute them as I see fit.
Oh, weird. I feel like I'm in the 1950s.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
I mean, you basically described your actual life as like the 1950s. Like, if you're gonna like leave the house or write a check, Tom has to sign off on. He has to sign the check.
No,
because he's the man in charge.
No, we were. That is not what happens.
No,
we do have a limit though.
Pretty sure.
If both of us have a thing where like if I wanted to spend over, we have like a limit like $100. Like we would ask each other, hey, like I'm gonna get this, and then I've never been told no, and I've never told him no, so it's like okay, but it's just a respect thing because we both share a bank account.
You do.
Mm-hmm.
I have separate bank accounts for everything. No, I don't. I do. Like everybody, like I have a separate bank account. Courtney has a separate bank account, but most of it is all just goes into like our.
Yeah, there's a lot of. I actually figured this.
But there are a lot of people that have separate bank accounts, and I'm actually for it. I'm not anti.
I totally understand why people do it. That's Also, it's better. It almost is kind of better to do separate bank accounts too,
in case you get divorced.
In case you get divorced, if something happens, like
nobody can freeze your assets.
Yeah, but Tom and I didn't sign a prenup, so if Tom ever did anything, I just take him for everything he's worth. Which
maybe that's why he sticks around.
Could be
just the threat of
No, I was telling Josh we budget down to the cent. On everything we do.
I don't know what that's like. I ball until I die. That's what I do. That's what I do, man. I try to spend money faster than I make it. Really,
wow, you're doing a phenomenal job of that.
I know. Speaking of which, I just ordered our first merch item
Did you
yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
How much was it?
Yeah. Awesome. I don't want to tell you.
Tell me. I'll send you
it was $1 million.
Oh.
No, it was 15 hats, and there's a setup fee. It was $275, but you really only have to give me $100. It's fine. Mm-hmm. I had to pay him an extra $11 because it was actually, instead of 5,000 stitches, it was 7,000 stitches. So they gave me a surcharge of $11.
But the thing about it though is that I'm fully believe that this could take off, and we're gonna sell so much in merch.
So much. These first ones are kind of just for us, even though we'll sell.
I really want to have a shirt that says PE teacher on the back of it.
Okay, well we can do that. Shirts are pretty cheap, so that'd be easy.
Yeah.
Maybe a pocket tee.
What's the brand of hat that you got? This one?
Yeah.
This one?
Except white with a black robe.
Gosh, I can't wait. This is my favorite hat, and I haven't been able to find it. So it's a cannabis cowboy hat.
Yeah.
And Josh got me one, a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
And I wear it all the time, couldn't find it. But the other day, my dog was barking underneath the couch, like being like he saw something, and Tom was like, ugh. He goes, I see a hat. And I literally, before Tom came up, I was like, please. And it was my hat. I love this hat. This hat fits so good.
Yeah. So same hat, different stuff, embroidered. It was actually cheaper to embroider than heat transfer.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Dang. Yeah. That's really exciting because I love merch.
Yeah. I think it'll be fun. I don't know. I always...
What?
I'm just thinking of like, nobody cares about this. I don't know why I always pictured like the first thing being like white, and like I like old English
like your
lettering.
Carter's hat. What?
Yeah,
but
but I don't know. I like I just pictured it's very, to me right now, like old English or like Gothic lettering is like very fashionable, and I was like, I kind of want. You know what I like is like Ethan and Hilda Klein. They have that's her name, right? The H3 podcast. They have their H3. They have their own fashion brand called Teddy Fresh, and it's fashionable stuff, and it's cool. And I was just like, yeah, like rather than just being like merch, like I want people to like wear it just because they're like, oh, this looks cool.
Yeah.
And then when people ask about it, because it says OGP NAP, that I think that goes so much further than just like wearing something that says like a full title or something like that, because I think people are like, then it creates a conversation, and I think that's what marketing does anyway, like this indirect marketing thing. Like a lot of the times it's like you will see things that are like meant for you, but a lot of times like they'll know that like Brailey's shopping for toothpaste, so they'll feed me ads for toothpaste because they know like we're in contact a lot. Yeah, right, exactly. Like you just natural. Like I just smile at the sun for 5 minutes every day, and it takes care of. But so they'll like feed me ads for toothpaste because they know like I'm in direct contact with Brailey a lot. So like she'll be like, oh yeah, I'm looking for a new toothpaste, and then I will sell her the toothpaste. I'm actually the salesperson, like because I'm a trusted source.
Yeah.
So I'll be like, oh yeah, like I just saw a brand for toothpaste. It actually looks really good, you know, or an ad for toothpaste.
Well, merch is so important because one thing I really hate, and I'm going to call out a bunch of these like concert people.
Yeah.
One of the best merch I've ever gotten from concert is Noah Kahan. I will truly say the shirts were good quality. Like he had, I bought the hat. It's a hat and just says Forever on it. There's nothing else on it because the tour is called the Forever Tour.
Yeah.
It's an auto brand. It's so nice. I love it. And then had like these crew necks that were actually comfort colors. So nice. And
what is Comfort Colors?
It's a brand. It's just like a really good, like soft, thick brand. And they're long, and like if you want them oversized, they're actually oversized.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I just bought one last night. I think Ray's Rowdy. They had. Like,
oh really?
They had Comfort Colors, so.
Noah Kahan, you did amazing on merch. If you designed it, I don't know, but your team did amazing on merch. But then at the Jonas Brothers concert, I got a shirt. It was $50. Yeah. And
was it just them?
Just the Jonas Brothers and the Lawrence whatever opened, who were incredible.
Oh, but he was opener. Okay.
Yeah. So the Jonas Brothers was a totally different concert.
Because I was going to say, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but like with some of those things, like if you're playing with somebody else who's like bigger than you, a lot of the time they make you price match like the headliner.
Oh, no. Yeah, Jonas Brothers was a totally different concert.
Gotcha.
So their shirt I loved the shirt. But it was as thin as paper, and the first time I washed it, I didn't even dry it because I knew it would shrink. It like rolled up. I can't. It's like it was rayon. It was so annoying. So if you're gonna spend $50 on merch, you want it to be like a good quality thing. So
what were you just thinking about?
I was just thinking about how. Did you watch the clip of Adele?
No.
I'm going to show you like two different personalities in the music industry. So Adele is at our concert, and we love Adele. She
saw
queen.
A little kid and she took a picture.
No, that was really sweet though. No, she said something like Happy Pride Month, and somebody goes, F Pride. And she turns in the audience. She goes, did somebody say fuck Pride at my concert? Are you stupid? Mm-hmm. And she calls him out, right?
Yeah.
Somebody like had clipped that and then clipped JoJo Siwa at her concert for Pride. Somebody booed JoJo Siwa.
Yeah.
Booed JoJo. And it's a totally different spot. She was like, who the F said boo me at my own concert? Who was it? Was it you? Like she stops the whole concert because somebody booed her. And there's like, then somebody pans in on this girl just going, like just JoJo. I was just thinking about how polar opposite those two people are because JoJo Siwa was all over my freaking TikTok recently.
I saw Morgan Wallen throw a phone off stage. Somebody threw a phone at him.
Honestly, I would do the same thing.
Yeah,
I will actually defend him on that.
Yeah, who throws a phone at somebody? Like that's crazy. Well, I would just throw it in the pit too. I would just be like, whatever, dude.
Yeah. Well, we also saw what happened to BB Rexa. She had to get stitches because somebody threw their phone on stage and it sliced her eyebrow completely.
Really?
Open. She got like 17 stitches over it, and so that's what sparked the conversation of stop throwing shit on stage at artists.
Right.
Nobody's ever done that to me because I'm not popular.
Yeah.
But
you're like, I think out of a room of 12 people, I could pick out who threw the thing.
Maybe somebody would like throw a piece of paper, tomato. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, like I don't feel bad. I will defend Morgan Wallen on that. Like somebody and it hit him right here and he just took it.
Yeah.
I would do the same thing.
Yeah. Because like, what do people want? Like, unless you're like side stage and like an artist comes and grabs your phone and like does a video, or whatever, like, don't do that. Don't throw things, man. I don't think anybody who watches this is a thrower of things, so.
I hope not. And if you are, stop.
Yeah, it's okay.
Or stop listening to us.
No, well,
we need to have merch coming. We need to sell it.
Yeah. Actually, I know. I think episode 8, we still need more people to listen to that. We're like,
we just need to get more clips out of it, which I gave you a few that.
Oh yeah, you gave me one.
I gave you 2.
You gave me 6 foot tall penis.
That was so funny. Me and Tom were laughing so hard at that. And then when I went back to get the exact like timestamps of it, it made me laugh again. because it's perfect timing.
And what was this other one? I remember you wanted me to say your favorite word, and then I don't know. It's okay. We don't need to do this right now.
But anyways, that was really funny. All right. I want to talk about, because it is so relevant right now, the Clinton Kane drama with Brooke Schofield.
I know nothing about either of these things, and these names mean nothing to me.
But yet you tagged Brooke in our story.
I only did it because other people were doing it, because she had the same story about her ex-boyfriend faking.
Her ex-boyfriend's Clinton Kane.
Oh, okay. And he faked his brother's death.
So if you haven't seen it, Brooke put on an eight series on TikTok, and it's back to back to back to back, and they're all like only 60 seconds. And she's talking about Clinton Kane, who is an artist, which sucks because like I really do actually like his music. He has great catchy songs and his voice is really good. But she dated Clinton Kane, and she goes into depth about it. There's at one point where he wouldn't even let her leave the house that they were staying at.
Yeah.
And
so it's like your relationship with Tom.
Yeah, kind of. But she said that she started catching on the fact that he's from Australia, doesn't have an Australian accent.
Interesting.
He said that his mom and his brother and his dad died.
Wow.
And, he's putting out this
sort of a Batman of sorts.
Yeah, like even wrote a song called Chicken Tendies, which I think is a weird title, but whatever, catch your eye. It's about his mom dying. He goes on these podcasts to like talk about his mom dying, right?
Yeah.
So he's on this one podcast, and all of a sudden he says, "All right, mate," something like that. And the guy who's hosting it was like, "That's so weird. This is the first time that you've sounded like you're from Australia," and calls him out on it.
Interesting. Yeah.
And so Brooke wakes up in the morning and he's on the phone and he's like, "You need to take this podcast down right now. You need to stop this. Da 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 da."
Really?
And so she takes her phone and she does a little bit of research. And in the comments, there are people saying, "No, he's not from Australia. He's from like Brisbane or something like that." I don't know where that is.
Where?
Brisbane, something like that.
Brisbane?
No.
Oh. Because that's in Australia.
No, not Australia at all. It's not Australia. So he shouldn't be having an accent to begin with. And then also said, and what's crazy is I just saw his mom at the grocery store last week.
Oh my gosh, she came back alive?
So this girl is saying this, and so Brooke's like, "This is weird. How do I bring up to him that, wait, is your mom alive?"
Yeah.
And she doesn't, which is funny that I can relate to that, because when I brought up my ex-boyfriend's brother being dead, how do you bring that up? How do you say to somebody, "Are you making this up?"
Well, you said, "I don't believe your brother's dead."
Yes, but it took a long time to like,
brother.
but it took a long time to like build up that courage. Like, how do you accuse somebody of lying about something?
Yeah.
Right. So she ends up confronting him. She also finds out like he's like cheating, and he's like crying over it, whatever, because he's so manipulative.
Yeah.
And the way she got him to confess was she called him. And she said, "I need you to tell me about your mother. Like, your mother's not dead." And he goes, "My mother is dead." And she goes, "Well, I've been talking to her this week." And she straight up said in the TikTok, she was like, "I wasn't talking to his mom. That was just the only thing I could get." Like, he confesses his mom is not dead. His brother's not dead. His dad did die. And he said that he wasn't born in Australia, but he grew up there, which is still a lie.
Yeah.
To her. Come to find out, his mom is alive. He's been lying about all of it. And when he brought up his mom, he's like, "Well, it wasn't my mom." And this is what is so crazy. "It wasn't my mom. It was a mother figure to me."
A mother figure?
Yes. And
I've been told I have a mother figure.
You do. It's a mother figure to me, which is also crazy, because when I brought it up to my ex-boyfriend, like, "You don't have a dead brother," whatever, he said, "Well, it wasn't my brother. It was my best friend's brother, who is like a brother to me."
He said it was my brother with an A.
Pretty much. Yeah. So this guy has built his whole career off of like these huge, massive lies.
Yeah.
And now he's
cool.
like,
you got to do what you got to do to make it in this world, and I'm all for the scamming and the hustling.
No, you have to be completely psychotic to make up a whole entire lie.
Yeah. Just commit to it. Commit.
He did.
He should double down. Yeah,
he did.
He should triple down.
He also has teeth like piranhas, which is really weird.
Ooh, piranha teeth.
And he gets these shakes when he listens to his music.
This
Just
is
look up
weird,
Clinton
dude.
Kane check. It's
I don't want to
really
know
weird.
anything about this, and now I'm going to get TikToks about it.
Yeah, you are. It's
don't
the
like
most fascinating story because it is insane to me that this guy believes his own lies. You have to be psychotic to be that way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty, well, I don't know. I think life can be boring, and sometimes people just make up interesting things to
Or
like,
you're just that desperate to make a buck.
yeah. And I think a lot of people are.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people would fake a lot of things to make money. It's weird.
I will say that his dad is dead, though. So he did tell the
He
truth
did,
about that.
yeah. He's like 1/4 true, or 1/3. You know, his mom and his sister are very much alive.
Yeah.
But
Weird. That's
that
crazy.
is weird.
And people will lie, obviously, to make a buck, but to go that deep and so deep to where it's so unimaginably true that you can find the truth in it. You could just do
Yeah.
a quick Google search, a quick obituary search, like
right.
at least do a lie that you can't undiscover, like not a lie that you
lie
can't discover.
Yeah. Yeah, or untrue, unfold, unbury, unravel, unnatural.
Selection. What is the biggest lie you've ever told?
I can't reveal that.
Well, okay,
It's currently
fine.
ongoing.
What?
It's
No.
I can't reveal that.
Okay, what is the biggest lie you told in high school? Because I know exactly my biggest lie.
You do?
Yes, because I got grounded for 6 months.
6 months.
I got grounded for 6
Wow.
months.
I don't know. You know, it's all kind of life is just one big lie. It's just like kind of a web of lies. And I'm trying to remember, you know, like I remember lying about dumb things about like where I was at or like what I was doing.
Did you ever get in trouble, like big
yeah,
trouble for lying?
I got in trouble. Yeah. But like, I think in high school, it was a little past the lie phase. I was just like, you know, we were living like euphoria in high school. I don't know. Like, yeah, what is your lie? I have a hard time recalling lies because it feels like a little kid thing to get in trouble for almost.
I know. Well, it is. It is. It's dumb to get in trouble for a lie, but I lied to my mom and she caught me in the lie. And it's like when MySpace and social media was like really big and there's all these like different websites.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't allowed to have, I don't remember if it was a MySpace or something else. I wasn't allowed to have one because there's obviously creeps like on the internet. I was young. I was so young. I was maybe 12, 13.
Yeah.
And of course I had one anyways.
In high school,
It wasn't high school. It was middle school.
Yeah.
And
that makes more sense. That is middle school.
Yeah. And I typically never lied to my parents because my mom can sniff out a lie. Like she has a hound dog.
Really?
And there's a biscuit somewhere. It's crazy. And my mom was like, what are you doing on the computer? And I was downstairs. I was like, nothing, just on AIM, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, I don't believe you. And I said, okay, well, I am. I wasn't. I was obviously on MySpace, or I think there was like another different website.
Yeah.
And anyways, I went upstairs and my mom, and before I went upstairs though, I deleted everything. I deleted my username, all of that, pictures, everything. Cause I just had a feeling I was about to get caught.
Yeah.
And I go upstairs and my mom has her laptop open.
She had the page pulled up.
And she had the page pulled up. Well, she didn't have the page. She said, put in your password. I go, I don't know my password.
Yeah.
And she goes, put in your password. And I remember my heart like dropping. And this is the way that my mom got me was I finally obviously put the password in and she looked at me and she goes, I don't even want to look at you. Go upstairs.
Oh,
Because
wow.
and when your mom like says something like that to you, that's devastating. That's so like, I'm caught in a lie. This sucks. And my mom reamed a new one, like got a whole new asshole. I was ripped a new asshole because she was so mad at me.
Now, do you still have that asshole, or did
No,
that,
it finally closed up. I actually,
I was gonna say, did they do a double colonoscopy on you? Did they have to go through both ports?
yeah,
in order
right,
to
yeah,
see?
no. She ended up taking like my dinky cell phone away. I never had it. I wasn't allowed to use the computer. I wasn't allowed to do any electronics at all. No TV. And yeah, it was about 6 months, and I finally got my phone back. And I can honestly say from that point forward, I didn't lie to my mom because just because she looked at me, she goes, I don't even want to look at you.
Wow.
That sucks.
Well, that's one thing I can relate with your mom on.
Oh, okay. That's rude.
I remember a similar thing happened because I used to love, we had a computer in the living room, in the family room. And late night, I loved surfing the web for boobies. And I was just like, you were just like unfettered access to the internet. And I one night was doing my casual, like I was amazed at the variety of boobs that they had on the internet. There was access to all kind, little slopes, big mountains, like
and that one little thing pop up, be like, "Are you 18 or older?" Like, of course
and I was
am.
like, "Yeah, dude, like trust me." But yeah, one night I was doing that, and then I heard a voice from the stairs that were in the other room. It was very dark, and it was my mom, and she said, just so you know, Jesus is watching you right now. And then I was like, well, that kind of ruins everything, because it was kind of a me and the computer vibe, and it wasn't really asking for a third person to be here. But yeah, so I guess that wasn't really a lie, though. It was pretty blatant. And then I did one time I printed out a sheet of just a 1-page printout of Jenna Jameson, and I had it.
Who's Jenna Jameson?
She was a porn star in the 90s, or the early 2000s, probably. I had that, and I had a water bottle full of wine in a lockbox under my bed. I don't know. I was probably like 15. I don't know. And
of wine.
I had a thing of wine and a water bottle of wine and a printout of Jenna Jameson. One day I went under my bed to open up my accrued wine, and Jenna
Did she
Jameson.
have a cigar in the other hand?
No, but it was all gone. So they picked the lock. They got it out of there. But it's too bad. Now I have a whole box of. No, I don't. I don't have a box. I have unlimited water bottles full of wine at my house.
Oh,
you could drink them out of Aquafina bottles if you want. Yeah, I got everything from reds to whites.
Oh my God. No, my brother.
What did he do?
Okay, on MySpace, you used to be able to send links, but you could change the link.
Yeah, you would
name.
change yeah.
He wouldn't stop sending his friends links to Disney porn. And my mom caught him, and he was grounded.
He got in trouble for that.
He got in big trouble for that.
Yeah.
He's like, I wasn't watching it. I was just sending
I just sent. Don't. Have you ever heard the phrase, "Mom, don't shoot the messenger"? That would apply perfectly to this situation. I'm not into this stuff, but I do like distributing it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, man, the internet was because we grew up when the internet was really becoming the internet.
Oh
too.
yeah, remember there was rotten.com or something you could see people decapitated and stuff, and
don't remember that one.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Well, that one
changed
the infrastructure of who I am. It's damaging.
Nope.
You were getting in trouble for MySpace.
I was getting in trouble also because I told you that when I was younger I looked up boobies.com.
Yeah, dude, I did that all the time, boobies.com, sex.com.
Never looked up that. I would go into chat rooms all the time.
Oh, you would?
On AOL chat rooms, and I would pretend to be somebody else, and I would send my photo as an Abercrombie model. And
male
boys
or female
loved me.
Yeah, I bet. That was before Google image. Something.
I would literally just go to Abercrombie and Fitch, cut the photo and be like, yeah, this is a photo of me. I am a 13F Georgia, you say ASL.
And it's some woman who's 24. And just
and they're like, wow, is this
stacked,
really you? And it's one of those photos where the girls are holding their boobs.
I kind of matured early.
I used to do that one time.
That's so stupid. I love it.
One time, God.
That's so stupid. I love that.
I was in a chat room, and you could privately chat with somebody else, and I thought I was talking to the whole entire Backstreet Boys.
6 of them just lined up their schedule to they're like, let's all get on AIM, and they're like, let's talk to Brailey.
Yes,
our 13-year-old fan.
It was a girl, and she was like, I actually have the Backstreet Boys at my house, and I obviously believed her, and literally be like, hey, howdy, how you doing? All these, and I was just like,
AJ, Nick,
yes.
they're all.
And I remember running to the balcony and be like, Mom, I'm talking to that Backstreet Boys.
Yeah.
And she goes, sure you are, honey.
Yeah. Have fun, hun.
But yeah, I like wholeheartedly believed I was talking to the Backstreet Boys on AOL chat room.
I would have loved if you you guys still kept up today, you know?
I know.
Like,
I
how's
see
the
what Brian's
reunion tour?
doing.
Yeah.
No, that is something that's ingrained in my memory, because if I could just talk to myself now and be like, bitch, listen. That's not true.
Yeah. You don't actually know the Backstreet Boys. They're not all interested in taking you to a roller rink.
I remember being like, Brian, I know where your house is, because he had a house in Georgia. I was like, it's yellow. And then Brian would respond and be like, that's right, my dear.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Now send me $50.
I did get in a chat roulette with the Jonas Brothers one time.
Oh, you were on chat roulette?
Yeah, when I was in college, we used to chat roulette all the time, like just for funsies.
And just mostly see dudes just jerking
jacking
their
off.
hogs.
Yes. Golly.
Yeah.
No, one time
There's the majority of that, yeah.
the Jonas Brothers were on there one time, and literally clicked in and I go, oh, I was like, the Jonas Brothers. And they go, hi. And then click. It wasn't pretty enough.
And they said, hi. And then before they could even get to the end of hi, it's just next.
Yeah, that was
wow.
funny. I actually still talk to somebody today that I met on chat roulette.
Really?
They ended up like going to a school that was at Georgia Southern, and we all had mutual friends, and so we ended up all like being in the same friend group.
That's crazy. I did like chat rooms when I was a kid. Like I don't know. Like, yeah.
They're so dangerous.
Like you'd meet people, but then you're all on the back of my head, because like, you know, I grew up watching all those like true crime shows and like To Catch a Predator and stuff. I always thought, I was like, this is probably a 40-year-old guy right now that I'm talking to.
I never thought.
Right?
I thought I saw you in the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah.
You remember how last episode we were talking about how like we should be dead by now? Like somebody should have come and killed me.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I never gave my address or anything like that, but you know, people are creepy. People could do that.
Right.
AOL.
I feel like To Catch a Predator could have hired me as the people who like lure the people in. Like I could have been good at that. I'm like, yeah, nobody's home, and like, but my dad left the fridge full of wine coolers.
I got this new camcorder.
Yeah.
Man, yeah. You should do that now, To Catch a Predator.
Yeah, I'm
Featuring
scared if I
Josh.
do it freelance, then I'm going to end up being arrested. So I'm not
You know
gonna
what?
do that. I think you have to be a part of a specific program. You have to work within some fine lines, I think, to be compensated and to get that.
Yes, that is true. But you can't just be
you
like,
just end up on a watch list if you do it freelance.
Yeah.
If you're just a vigilante
Call the
trying
cops.
to catch a predator.
Call the cops. I'm pretending to be a 9-year-old boy on the internet.
I just lured.
We just watched Miss Congeniality at the Nightlife 615.
Yeah.
And I remember that movie when it came out. I was like, that's what I want to do.
At the Nightlife 6. Oh, was
They
that the
do
thing?
that big screen at Bicentennial.
I saw somebody else I knew
It's
there.
really cool. We should all go next. I'm going to go to Bring It On if you want to go.
Great.
I'm sexy. I'm cute.
Yeah.
I'm popular. Gray hair. The boys all love to stare. I'm wanted. I'm hot. I'm everything you're not. I'm pretty. I'm cool. I dominate this school. Who am I? Just guess. Guys want to touch my chest. I'm rocking. I'm vile.
What is the Toros? Where are the Toros?
Let's go, Toros.
There was something else I thought of.
The Clovers.
I thought there was another Toro. Oh, yeah.
It's hot in here. There must be some clovers in the atmosphere. I said,
I thought it was Toro.
Well, they stole the cheer from the Clovers.
Oh,
I remember watching that and be like, we always say the same cheers as everybody else.
yeah, it's true.
Ice, ice, ice. Break it down.
This is great.
So if you want to go to Bring It On, and Hocus Pocus is in October.
Yeah, they used to do that in L.A. They do it. They still do it at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery.
The cemetery.
Yeah, they do it at a cemetery. They set up a big screen there, and they show movies, and people bring blankets and wine and cheese or whatever, and they just sit right next to dead people's graves, and it's very L.A., very cool. Yeah.
Weird.
They actually do it. If you've ever seen I Love You, Man, that's where they're watching that outdoor movie.
I haven't seen it in a while.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
You, Man.
It's kind of like us, you know. I was your best man in your wedding. And,
Yeah, you were. Yeah.
Yeah. I forget that you've only been married a couple years.
Yeah, we've been married. It'll be 5 years in October.
Yeah. Babies.
Children.
Absolutely.
But we've been together for 10.
Double the amount of you and 13.
Josh, not all of us got married as a child bride.
Well, my parents, they set it up for me, and we had one of those 4-day weddings where people don't know this, but I'm Indian, actually.
Cool.
Yeah. I identify as big fan of Bollywood, the Bollywood classics, and I like curry.
I had an Uber driver make me watch the whole way to the airport in Atlanta. Bollywood movie.
Yeah.
They're like, we'll watch this one. I'm like, I don't know what they're saying.
Yeah. But they're always ridiculous and over the top, and I love it. I do love that about Bollywood.
Well, what's next for us, Josh? We got...
This is episode number 10.
I know we're doing it. I'm really proud of us.
Yeah.
Josh and I will have
I try to quit every episode.
Literally, we did the first segment, and he was like, I hated all of it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, stay tuned for merch. Also for a fundraiser that we are putting together. We're hopefully it's going to be in September.
Yeah.
So if you are in Nashville,
we're trying to get Brailey a new set of these. That's what we're raising money for a big breast augmentation.
We are raising money for a baby.
But if there's something left over, maybe we'll get some big old honkers on this broad.
No.
You know what I mean? Some triple H's.
I would love a boob job, but no.
Really?
This is strictly for adoption.
Don't you have boobs?
No, I want to get, I want them lifted, and I want them to be just a
Well,
tight
that's just kind
cup.
that's the age we're at right now. Things are just kind of sagging down.
Yeah, gravity's taking a hold of me.
We talked about balls last week about how eventually those things will just be in there like a fishing bob.
Yeah. Exactly. But yeah, no, we're raising money for Tom and I's adoption to adopt a child, not Josh, a child.
Yeah.
We're doing that. We have merch. We have hopefully, I really would like to put together an Oh God, Not Another Writers Round.
I think we're gonna do it, aren't we?
Yeah, but I know, are we gonna do it with Raised Rowdy, or are we gonna do it our own?
I mean, I thought it would be maybe a collaboration of
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
So yeah, stay tuned, guys.
They said we could take over one of their nights. Very kind of them. We love Raised Rowdy.
Yeah.
Shout out Matt Burrell and Nikki T.
Yeah.
Who is Nick Tressler.
When Nick was like, you guys should go on Matt's podcast, I was like, been there, done that. But we talked about Alabama football the whole time.
Yeah. We did talk about that,
day.
about how different it was. Like, they're like, it's so funny. Like, some of our best interviews were like Riley Green and Ashley McBride and stuff. And like, we only have audio of it. There was no, and like the audio is like so crappy compared to like what we do now.
I actually think I was like maybe their third person.
Wow.
Yeah. So stay tuned. We're really excited for things coming up. This will come out after the 4th. So I hope you had a great 4th of July. And yeah, Josh, where can they find you?
You can find me at Josh Dell, JOSHDEL, especially if you're Brailey's friends. I'm trying to bring more of those people over into my life and my circle. And because I think we actually would be good friends. And I think you probably accent the best parts of Brailey and abandon the worst parts of her. So I think I could use you over on my team. Team Josh Dell. And where can we find you, Brailey Linderman?
You can find me at Brailey Linderman Music. And if you're Josh's friend, because let's be honest, you're not, because I'm his only friend.
I was going to say,
so
I think more people interact because of you. I don't think people really care about me.
Oh God, please, not another podcast.
Yeah.